Welcome. It is the Ski Bum Podcast, and it is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, fresh back from Denver, Colorado. What's up?
It's been a ride. It was fun being out there. I like the Denver area. I have a better appreciation for it. And it got me to start thinking about where I'd be skiing next year. So,
yeah, we've got a very light and mild main topic today, but Mario's doing a little research already. He's got some inside tips and scoops, so you might want to hang around to check it out. Now, you did mention you were in Denver. You did not ski, but A-Basin will be closing this weekend, and it's got a couple inches of snow, which is absolutely awesome. So if you're out there, our friends out in Colorado, hope you're getting a couple more turns in while you can. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We are on your favorite social media apps, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Untapped, YouTube, at Ski Bum Podcast.
Damn, everywhere.
We are. Patreon. If you want to help us out, if you want to help us push it and get to the next level with this podcast, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So you can check us out there. Patreon.com/skibumpodcast. We're trying to figure out what would be great giveaways, what would be incentivizing you to be a patron besides helping us out, which is awesome. So we're thinking about maybe having some virtual meetups, maybe some meetups during the ski season, give it away gear. If you have any ideas, send us an email or anything else you want to talk about. skibumpodcast@gmail.com.
If you want financial advice, you want advice at home, definitely send us a thing. We probably can't help, but we'd like to hear from you.
You got to diversify your bonds. That's all I got to say. And we have one last thing. So we talked about it last week, talk about it again. I have joined the ambassador program at the brand 10,000. Their website is 10,000, all one word, .cc.
Boom.
They are making some of the best workout clothing gear for guys. I love their stuff. I've been using it for a couple months now. I'm a huge fan of their interval shorts. I've got like 3 pairs now. I'm going to get a couple more.
Nice.
Their whole thing is their athlete-led design. Athletes and military are the ones who are building their stuff. They've got perfect pockets, best fit. They've got a cool rewards program. And their whole concept is be better than yesterday. So
nice.
It's the idea of pursuit. And they say in business, fitness, and life, they believe in moving forward with a quiet dedication to constant improvement and to become just a bit better than we were yesterday. They're making awesome stuff. They're a really cool company. I have a promo code. So if you use my promo code, which is BSchneider15, all one word, BSCHNEIDER 15, you can get 15% off. Boom. We'll put the link in the show notes too if you want to check it out. I'm actually buying some new bathing suits from them because I was looking at another company and I wasn't really liking their whole thing they're doing these days. So I'm going with 10,000 because it's a brand that I believe in and I can get behind. And I think y'all are going to like it too. Ladies,
you have like a penis hider pocket in there or no?
Bro, you can't hide it with these shorts. It's all on a display. And it's
good.
Only got guy stuff right now. They may have a ladies version. I don't know. But right now, it's just for men. Let's enjoy that while we can.
Just for men. That's a hair thing too,
just
right?
Just for men. But then you're wherever you want. They got all kinds of stuff too. We're not affiliated with them, but if you want to buy some just for men,
go right ahead.
Stop you. So check it out. 10,000.cc. Use the code BSchneider15. 15% off. Mario.
Nice.
Let's kick it off the way we always do.
It's time for Après Today.
It's been a rough week, I gotta say.
We say that every time. Like every week's a rough week. Life is hard.
This was a short week. And I'm like, why does it feel like it's been a longer week than normal? So I think I'm just batteries run down from travel. So I got home and right away I made myself a nice drink. And Après work week drink.
Because we're doing this on a Friday, which is not the norm lately.
Not the norm. And it was basically my weed infusion drink with seltzer. It was very good. And as I told Brian, for some reason, I think the batch of the weed stuff that I put in the drink, I think is an extra stronger batch. And I kind of dosed myself and my wife this weekend by accident. So we were pretty fried walking around the house. I told Brian before this podcast, I'm like, yeah, it is stronger because like I'm feeling that right now too. So we'll see what creeps up on me while this podcast is going on. But
I
I
think
did
Joe
make a
Rogan
nice
had
Opry.
a bit in one of his stand-ups once talking about like how he's like when they're making the edibles, like is this stuff really regulated? Like some dude there with like a Grateful Dead t-shirt on and dreadlocks just throwing in the weed and mixing stuff up and then
That's it.
wondering, did I remember to put in the weed or not? So he throws in the weed again and mix it up again.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the guy making it.
And they get a hot batch. I think that's what I got, a hot batch.
Got the hot batch.
So I had like 2 of those. I had the first one really quick because I was just thirsty and pissed off and from the week. But then I made myself a nice little gin drink.
Oh,
All
there
those
you
ice in
go.
this have been so I don't like a lot in my drinks anymore. I don't know why, but I don't use a lot of mixers. So I had some fresh strawberries in the fridge. So I got the strawberries, I muddled it. Where is it?
Look at you.
So I muddled the strawberries, then I put the gin in there, mixed it up, strained it into a glass, and then I added seltzer. I think it's a cherry seltzer. So put that in there. It's like a cherry strawberry gin drink.
That sounds delightful. It's like a Tom Collins, but like it's like a John Lennon, would you call it? Because like Strawberry Fields.
Let's call it a John
Gin.
Lennon.
A John
right.
Lennon. We've just made a new drink up.
But I like having fresh berries around the house. I don't know, like at night I'll snack on berries and I give my dog berries because they're supposed to be good for the dogs, the blueberries. So I'll get like raspberries or something or strawberries. So when I have that stuff around, I'm looking for something to make. I'll muddle like just berries and put alcohol in it and seltzer, and that's a drink.
I like that. That's solid. You know what? It's better than getting a flavored seltzer. You could flavor it yourself, right?
Yeah, there's like no calories in that thing.
Yeah.
Barely any calories.
Barely any calories.
Barely. I
Barely.
don't have to worry. It won't make my ass fat for bathing suit season,
That's true. Just no dingleberries.
No dingleberries.
No dingleberries.
Is that a real berry? Dingleberry?
I don't believe it is. I
Dingleberry
believe
pie?
it's all tomfoolery.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. What'd you get? I brought a dingleberry pie for everybody. A what? What the fuck did you bring?
It's a dingleberry pie. No, it's really chocolate. I swear. Like, did you try it yet? Is it good? Do you like it?
That's right.
You ate my poop. You ate my poop.
Talk about dosing somebody.
Oh, it's so nasty. Some people are disgusting. Like, what was that? Van Wilder. They make like the donuts. They fill the donuts with like the dog shit.
Oh God!
Somehow the guys thought it was good. I don't know.
It was delicious.
None of that movie holds up.
That was
Ryan
Val
Reynolds.
Kilmer, right?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Was Val Kilmer in there? He might have been
Why
in
was
there.
I thinking Val Kilmer? Yeah,
Real
Van
Genius.
Wilder.
Was he in Van Wilder? He could have been. He's been in a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna look it up now. Did you see the documentary Val?
I did. That was very
That's
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea he had it was cancer, right? That he had like
I don't exactly know.
it's something that it affected his voice box, right?
Yeah, he's still alive. But yeah, he lost his started losing his voice. Like it's
It was cool though in that the Van movie that he just like filmed everything his whole life. Like they were showing him from like the 80s and 90s and like him and his wife and his kids, like he filmed everything even back then. So he had this whole huge collection of stuff, which was really cool.
oh yeah. Oh, that's what he had, throat cancer.
Throat cancer, yeah.
He was in a ton of movies though.
Oh yeah. Ton of great movies. I still haven't seen the new Top Gun movie. I'm working on it.
I saw half of it on an airplane. I'm like, damn it, now I can't watch the rest of it.
Like you want to be a fighter pilot, but you're like on the plane. You're like, can I take this? I'll take the stick, bro.
Come on, step aside. I just saw Top Gun Maverick. Can you step aside, please?
Pretty sure if Tom Cruise can do it, so can I.
That's right. Now, one of my favorite movies from Val Kilmer is The Saint. You ever
The
see
Saint. That was a good one.
My favorite movies. I could watch that over and over for some odd reason. There's a few movies you ever notice that you could just watch them over and over. You never get tired.
Yeah. Big Lebowski. Can watch that over and
See?
over again.
There you go. See, that I can't watch over and over. I like it, but like I got to be in the mood ready to go for it.
I'm trying to make my son say some of the quotes in it and like not understand the reference.
Oh,
So like if someone bumps into him when he's a drink, I'm like, careful, man, there's a beverage. Like I want him to say that so that if someone hears him say it, be like, oh, that kid is awesome.
like what's going on with that kid? Oh, that's
Like I
pretty
have him
fun.
do like Caddyshack quotes, like out of context, like you scratched my anchor. Like he just says stuff like that. So I want him to, to like
He doesn't know what it means, but You scratch my anchor.
to one day to just like watch the movie then and be like, oh, that's where that's from. And I'll be like, son, today you will become a man because you've learned.
That's what happens with like all the Godfather movies. Kids like that don't know the movie genre. They hear all those terms and references, and then they watch the movie and like, is that where that term is from? Like, yes.
Yeah, because they'll quote it in like Family Guy or like
everywhere.
Simpsons, Rick and Morty, like South Park. Yeah, everything in pop culture is.
And then all of a sudden, like you get the reference. It's just the Matrix comes together, and it's like,
yeah.
Now I get it.
I talked to a guy this past weekend, and he saw Jaws for the first time last weekend.
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Are there essential like a bunch of pop culture references that you finally get now after 38 years?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah,
like,
I'm going to bigger boat,
and I'm never going in the water again." So
Yeah.
kind of twofold. Yeah, really. But you don't get those references, and people say it all the time. They don't even know what it means. It's like, do you know what that's from?
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain movies like I remember watching Godfather for the first time in my 20s, being like, "Oh my god, like really? Like that's where that's from?" Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. So my après today, because let's be honest, man, it's just about summer here, everywhere, Northern Hemisphere, America, and I've gone with my go-to. This is if I'm having some friends over and I want to make something that we all can drink and have a good time with. This is what I make, and you can't see it, but this is the cup I've been talking about. I got the 24-ounce Yeti with the handle there. Got me a nice watermelon margarita.
Oh, your watermelon. It's watermelon margarita season.
It's watermelon season, babe. I kind of push it to Memorial Day because the really early season watermelon, like,
just not good.
They're not quite there. Had the first watermelon last weekend.
Prime melon season.
We're getting into it. June, July is usually when it's peak watermelon season. But
peak watermelon season.
This is it's very delicious. How I make it, again, it's it's like when you make chicken soup or lasagna or anything. Like it's one of those things like make it your own. How I do it, I get a bunch of crushed ice. I get the Costco pre-mixed with the booze margarita, pour that in, bunch of chunks of watermelon. I smash that all up with an immersion blender. And then I throw in a little tequila, depending on what's floating around, usually an añejo, but I'll do a Blanco as well. And then I throw in a little Grand Marnier too. So I like a little bit of orange, a little bit of orangey twist in there. Gives a nice little.
You know what I've been doing every once in a while is I got orange bitters. For some reason, I brought the wrong bitters last time I went. I was making old fashions because they have like the regular bitters, the lemon ones. But they have the orange ones, and it makes everything taste so much just a little better. So that reminds me of like the Grand Marnier, chuck a little orange bitters and stuff too. That works.
I just bought a new handle of Grand Marnier too, and goddamn, that's getting expensive. I mean, dude, it was like $70-something.
Dude, booze has gone up a lot.
I was looking at getting a Cointreau too, again, orange, and a handle of Cointreau was like $80-something.
Damn!
Like goddamn, like it's getting out of control here.
You don't have to buy it by the handle.
Yes, I can. Yes, I do. Value, brother. Well, if you go back to podcasts from early 2022, that's when I bought the handle of Grand Marnier, and I was putting it in my tea every night, and I was starting to blast through it. I thought I was going to be done by last summer, which would have been disturbing.
Yeah, you were talking like I'm going to be done next week. I'm like, nah, you're not. You're going to hit the wall.
Fortunately, I still have a tiny bit of that previous handle still left, and then the new one is ready in the wings, ready to jump in.
Handle.
Because I put it in like everything. Like I put it in my margaritas. I put it like in my tea
Orange
if
juice.
I need to. Yeah, right.
OJ.
Coffee. I don't know if it would work. Probably not. Tea. Like again, tea works. Tea is great.
Tea works. Yeah.
It's all I really drink. Let's be honest. If it's not like water or coffee,
sometimes you don't even put the tea in. You just put that in the cup.
It just gives you what you need. Because Grand Marnier, for those who aren't in the know, it's orange liqueur and cognac. I don't know what the blend is, but it's just a very nice drink. And my wife's uncle, who I've drank with probably more than almost any other person besides you, he is a big Grand Marnier fan, and he would just have it like after dinner. He's like, "Well, have a couple bourbons, I'll have dinner, whatever." He's like, "You know what? I'm gonna have for a Grand Marnier. You want one? Just put it in a little, nice. Tiny snifter, a couple sips."
It's like limoncello, but it's the orange version of limoncello, right?
It's like a Frenchy limoncello. But yeah,
There
but
you go.
you have the cognac in there gives it a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know if meat is the right word, but gives it like a richer flavor.
Yeah.
Because limoncello is just too sweet.
It is. It's syrupy,
I'm not a
sweet,
fan.
and it's good. It's just too sweet for me.
Why don't they mix that with whiskey?
And I'm sweet enough.
Aw, like limoncello and like Jack Daniels together. That's got to be a drink, right?
Fucking limoncello and Mad Dog.
The cross. Hey man, is it White Claw was not a thing before 2018, 2019?
Just a matter of time. Matter of time, bro.
Yeah. Just get weird. Try it out. Why not?
Limoncello and Mad Dog 2020.
The key to life is experimentation, right?
That sounds like genius. I feel like Wile E. Coyote now. I like the sound of it. And the thing's coming in for him. Nobody gets that reference because they don't show Wile E. Coyote get hit anymore.
Goddamn.
It's ridiculous. It's a damn shame.
Can't fight City Hall, man. Just got to go underground, like Pump Up the Volume style. Another old person reference. Just pulling out these old people references today.
That's it. Just throw it out.
All right. Well, speaking of old people,
let's go to ski news.
And a lot of old people died in Austria in March of 2020. But you know what? The High Supreme Court of Austria has delivered a verdict that involved this old German individual who got COVID-19 in Ischgl, and the court ruled that Austria cannot be held responsible for its handling of the pandemic, which resulted in the ski resort becoming a focal point of disease in Europe, with 32 COVID-related deaths traced back to the area.
And
now, I didn't realize
about Ischgl, Austria, which we've been.
But it is madness to think that you could actually sue a country for a pandemic. But, you know,
you could sue. You're not going to get a good chance of winning.
Lawyer's going to lawyer, right?
That's right.
Lawyer's going to lawyer. So the plaintiff accused Austrian authorities of mismanaging the coronavirus situation in the early stages of the pandemic. He sought compensation for pain and suffering, medical expenses, and loss of earnings, claiming that Austrian authorities provided misleading and incomplete information regarding the impending dangers of the virus. Local and national Austrian authorities were criticized for their delayed response to the COVID-19 outbreak in Ischgl. Ronald Rohrer, R-O-H-R-E-R, Rohrer. It's a lot of R's. Chairman of the expert committee established to investigate the response to the outbreak, identified significant miscalculations by local authorities in Tyrol, Austria, who reacted slowly when the first positive tests emerged in the Ischgl resort. Rohrer stated that a proper assessment should have led to the closure of bars, suspension of ski lifts, and orderly management of departures from March 8th onwards.
Wow.
Yeah, he also further criticized the inadequate communication from officials at both the local and national levels. Chancellor Sebastian Kurz announced a quarantine on March 13th without clarifying that foreign visitors were permitted to leave. This led to widespread panic, with tourists hastily departing Ischgl to avoid a lockdown rather than waiting for an organized evacuation. Consequently, the virus spread throughout Europe. The court's verdict concluded that liability for incorrect information could only be established if it created a basis of trust that led people to make erroneous decisions. In this case, the court determined that the statement in question was formulated vaguely and in the subjunctive mood, indicating that the evaluation was based on preliminary information and that further clarification was underway. Seems almost obvious the way this played out, but it was interesting to see that it actually did play out as expected, because, you know, and just like I almost get like PTSD like reading about all this again.
Oh yeah.
You know, the whole like just locking down and the quarantining and the panic and the nonsense and the bullshit. Like it's just, I almost don't want to read about it, but I know we talked about it so much even back then. It is nice to get some closure, and you know, it's awful. It's unfortunate that people died, but again, how do you blame a country, a town for a disease breaking out?
Yeah.
Like it's sort of unprecedented. But again, lawyers gonna lawyer. People want to grab as much money as they possibly can. So I understand why it happened, but glad that they came to this conclusion.
But it's damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? So while it created a panic and people were running for the hills, right?
Mhm.
They're suing them for not taking action.
Yeah.
So you can't win either way.
Yeah. And then there's one interesting thing is that allegedly Ischgl's local ski resort, Silvretta Mountain, was allowed to remain open for a week after the resort knew they had a coronavirus outbreak. On March 4th, several Icelandic nationals tested positive for COVID-19 after returning from Ischgl. CNN reports that Iceland warned Austrian officials that the travelers had contracted the coronavirus in Ischgl, but by then it was already too late. The virus was already in full swing in the Alps. Some suggest that the initial outbreak could have gone back further than the first week of March. Like, aren't they saying now that it was like started in like late 2019?
Could have been.
Stuff was floating around. Like, how could you even pinpoint exactly when something started and how it got transmitted?
Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And then it's just the finger pointing.
Trying to sue somebody, and it's like, ultimately you're responsible for your own actions.
Yeah. And sure, it's almost anecdotal evidence, but a lot of the folks that I've heard of getting it, who've had it bad, who've, gotten through it, but who got it, one of the things that seems to be consistent in the stories, and again, this is totally anecdotal evidence, is that there was a lot of drinking, lack of sleep, kind of leading up to them contracting it. And when you think of Ischgl, if you know what Ischgl's all about, it's basically just a big party in the mountains.
And it's a big mosh pit. There is zero buffer of contact.
Yeah. And then, one of the other parts of the story here is there was the guy from New Jersey who was trying to join the lawsuit and claimed he passed the virus on to his father, who died of COVID-19 3 weeks later.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, like there's definitely some really sad, awful stories tied into it. But, again, to bring a lawsuit against a country for that, for the actions that you did, like where's the personal responsibility? Like, not everything is everybody else's fault.
Right. It's something that everybody is subject to. Nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of nice that it's put to bed now, and hopefully we won't talk about any sort of pandemic related things for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah. All right. Next up, we have
Peter Wackel's happy.
Peter Wackel. So there's a new connector lift that's eyed for Snow and Smuggler's Notch resorts. So this just hit the press. There's a gondola style connector lift that's being planned for Snow Mountain Resorts, Spruce Peak, and Smuggler Notch's Sterling Mountain. So I guess they submitted something to the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources. If completed as currently planned, the lift would represent a watershed moment in cooperation between the neighboring ski resorts and a new ease of travel between them for their visitors. The lift would span approximately 2,600 feet and ferry skiers and snowboarders from one mountain to the other, passing over the valley between the two peaks that contains a portion of the Long Trail, Elephant's Head Trail, and Sterling Pond. So they're saying discussions about the project between the state and two resorts have been ongoing, and communications have been between the three parties in the aftermath of their most recent meeting concerning the project in March were positive. So they're still keeping it hush-hush. Nobody's really talking a lot about it, but Smuggler's Knots executives argued in communications with the state that plans and details for a connector lift should be considered confidential, which would have shielded them from becoming available through Public Records Act requests, and claim that keeping the plans secret gave the resort business a business advantage that wouldn't be compromised by revealing them publicly. So they're slinging the lawsuits now. So
As in, they didn't want people to know about this. Is really what it is.
right,
And
probably
someone
because they
spilled the
didn't want
beans.
protesting and they didn't want people going and petitioning and saying don't do it. So that's probably why they try to slide it in there. And now they're they're talking about the wetlands and the environment and all that stuff. So you want to build something, let's throw the environment back at you.
Yeah, it's kind of I like that point that they make, that this is supposed to be secretive and like this shouldn't have been released. But I think people, like, barely anybody wants this, except for
Developers.
probably Vale,
Right.
because Vale owns Stowe. And if you know that area at all, or if you're looking at it on the map, in the summertime or now, Stowe to Smuggler's Notch is 6 miles. But the road is closed in the wintertime. So in the wintertime, from Stowe to Smugs is about an hour. And the nice thing about Smugs is it's kind of tucked in further north and west. So if you're going to get Boston, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut people, they'll probably just go to Stowe. They'll have their Epic Pass, they'll go there. And Smugs gets more of like the families, more of the local folks, the Burlington people. And there's like a hominess, like a smaller resort feel to Smugs. And it makes you wonder, like, is the owner of Smugs looking to sell? Are they looking to sell? And is Vale kind of like, wetting their beak, trying to make this happen, gonna buy it and connect the two of them together? It's very possible.
Yeah, it could have been a long play at, instead of buying one resort, we could buy one resort, connect to another resort, and essentially then buy them, and we're expanding in North America. I don't know.
Yeah, and it seems like the Stowe folks would benefit because they could also get to Smugs. The Smugs folks, I don't know if they'd want to go to Stowe. I mean, obviously some would, but
there's a totally different vibe between the two.
Exactly. And
like,
I don't
there's
know.
Animosity of, that's the rich people, this is the regular skiers. Like, it's local, very different.
It's more family stuff at Smugs, and it's, fancier, higher end Vale stuff at Stowe. So yeah, it makes you wonder. Like, it just seems like this is the only way anything progresses almost in the ski world. It's like has to be done through one of the megas, one of Stowe or Vale or Alterra. And like, is it just like a matter of just embracing it at this point and not fighting it? Or do you stand up and do you make a scene? And I like that whoever did kind of release this information, they did it on purpose, which is cool. They released it and, kind of shook up the plans a bit. I mean, to be stealthily building, like setting up a gondola, like that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Greasing the right palms to get this thing taken care of.
Yeah. Just, we got to get this through this business.
Yeah. It's gross though. So, I mean, it's possible nothing will happen from this, but it's possible something big could come from it. So there was, it's cool
because it looks like it's being shoved right through. So
yeah,
didn't say anything about any resistance that they face. So they're facing a lot of resistance, but it's not stopping anything.
It's just the wording is interesting on this Smuggler's Notch website. It's like, should we move forward, we will be rooted in the guiding principles of cooperation and collaboration to ensure this is a win for guests, the environment, and the community.
Wow.
How is that even possible that it's a win for the guests, the environment, and the community?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a win for somebody, and somebody's going to make money.
That's what it's all about these days, right?
That's who's winning, man.
Yeah. This concept is in the preliminary stages. We're trying to figure out who to pay off, and any actions will be subject to government approvals or payoffs. Yeah. So
government approved payoffs.
Yeah. So it's,
the big guy's got to get his cut.
Big guy gets his cut. So
It's the big
we'll
guy.
we'll see what happens. It'll be cool to see how this plays out, if anything does happen with this, which is very,
Yeah.
very possible. And again, speaking of the big guy, how about Schweitzer? They are entering into agreement to sell the resort operations business
Wow.
to Altera Mountain Company. Big, just keep getting bigger. The acquisition expands Altera's portfolio to 17 year-round mountain destinations across North America. This happened on June 1st. MKM Trust, owner and developer of Schweitzer, announces that it has agreed to sell Schweitzer's resort operations assets to Altera Mountain Company. Schweitzer expands Altera's portfolio in the Pacific Northwest, joining Crystal Mountain in Washington. The addition of Schweitzer will bring the company's total to 17 year-round mountain destinations throughout North America. As the only mountain resort within the MKM Trust portfolio for the last 18 years, Schweitzer has been consistently recognized as one of the region's top ski destinations, in part due to significant strategic investments. Blah, 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 blah. This is boring. Starting in the 2000s, over $100 million in capital has been invested into Schweitzer to help fortify itself as a premier destination in the Pacific Northwest, including terrain expansion, 5 new lifts, Sky House, the on-mountain day lodge, Humbird, a 31-unit boutique hotel in Schweitzer's Village, and Canbium, a brand new wellness spa. So basically, that's what they're going to do at Smugs too. Put in a wellness spa and a boutique hotel.
That's what you gotta do. Just chuck it in there and boom.
That's the playbook pretty much for a lot of these spots. MKM Trust, which has been the owner and developer of Schweitzer for the past 18 years, will retain non-ski operations, real estate holdings, and will continue to lead future real estate development projects that support the vibrancy of the Schweitzer community. I mean, these press releases all kind of say the same thing. They all kind of paint what a wonderful thing this is, and let's put up some more real estate and add some more boutique shops and hotels and restaurants and
invest your money.
I mean, this is life. This is the world we live in right now.
That's what we do.
That's what everyone's doing.
Oh,
I mean, can you even fight this anymore? I mean, you have your indie places, got your indie pass, but I mean, this is sort of becoming the way for a lot of these resorts to stay alive. And if we don't have them, if we don't have Epic, if we don't have Icon, and these big conglomerates don't exist, do a lot of these places shut down?
Yeah, that's a big part of the proposition, right? It's the economies of scale, right? So they can, especially if the market downturns, that's when we're really going to see the effect of this. If more of the small places that are now owned under one of the big umbrellas stay around, it's because they could prop them up,
Yeah, since the big conglomerations going on and the push of the Epic Pass. I mean, they've had the Epic Pass for 15 years or at least now. But the big push has been the last like 5 to 10. And if you go onto YouTube, I found this video. I don't even know how I came across this, but it's from Wendover Productions, and they have a whole thing called "How Corporate Consolidation is Killing Ski Towns." And it's a really cool video, and it actually goes through the history of the Epic Pass too, and how it came to be, and kind of goes through some of the numbers and how it makes sense, and kind of brings that topic up too. Is like a lot of these places might not exist anymore if it wasn't for having this. So, which is unfortunate, but
it's wild.
It's also you kind of have to look at both sides of this, and again, how else if you buy an Epic Pass, what, $800, $900, think about how much you've unlocked skiing for yourself. It really is an incredible deal. And if you're just looking at it from that point of view, how do you pass that up?
Right. That's especially depends if you can, where you can go, or if you have a local mountain. Definitely.
If you have a local mountain, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you buy one of those?
Yeah. I don't know how it works at Stowe, but I mean, I don't think Stowe isn't. I don't think you get a full.
You get different flavors of it, and then they might have like if you get the season pass, there could be an add-on to it. You know what I mean? Like,
because I thought a Stowe season pass was like almost $2,000.
$2 billion.
Or if you got like I don't think you got the full pass.
Yeah, it's blackout or partial or something.
Well, here it is, $929.
Wow.
I mean, I could have sworn like a full Stowe pass was like at least $1,600. Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know. It is crazy, but
Okay.
the economies, it works for people, and that's why they're successful, because if you break down the numbers, it gives people more opportunities and is more cost effective for them.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna really be a telltale sign what happens when and if the market takes a downturn.
Yeah, we haven't hit we haven't had like a recession since the big Epic Push and Icon release. So
Yeah.
when are we going to get that? We'll see. It could be this winter. It could be next winter. Who knows? So
Yeah, who knows? It's tough to say.
Interesting to see how it'll play out, but
that would be kind of cool, connecting two mountains. Like, think about them doing that for a lot of other mountains.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of becoming a thing now, especially with Vail, because you had Park City and Canyons was the biggest one in North America. I mean, Whistler and Blackcomb, that was a while ago. It was before Vail owned them. And then recently you had Palisades, Tahoe, and Alpine Meadow. They connected. There's an Altera place. And now you could be getting this. And, again, like you said, we're probably going to see more of this. And on paper, for folks, this sounds great. If you're just a skier who lives in Boston and you're like, cool, man, I got an Epic Pass. Now I can go see, ski Smugs too.
Well, we've been talking about when we used to ski Killington that, like, why don't they join Killington and Pico right next door? I mean, they're literally really close.
Yeah.
So I know they had plans in that they never put to fruition, and there's probably reasons around that. But you wonder if this is, that's the way some of the resorts are looking at, like, expansion. Yeah, we could buy another mountain, but wouldn't it be great to buy another mountain that we could connect to make one bigger mountain?
Well, the Killington Pico is interesting because they're the same ownership,
right?
They want to keep it separate.
Yeah,
which is kind of neat, because they're kind of, I mean, Killington's doing so much up there with the village that's actually going to happen now. But to want to keep them separate and to keep their own personalities,
right?
That's almost commendable these days.
Yeah, pretty cool.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know, the whole economics of it is, it's hard to wrap your head around, to think about how much it really does cost to run a mountain.
Yeah.
How many people are involved in lift maintenance, mechanics, snowmaking, operations, running the resort, the resort buildings, the lodges, clearing the snow, groomers. Like, there's just so much involved.
Yeah.
And to think about all that, and to go $900 for a season and you can ski as much as you want. Like, that really is an insane deal. If you really look at it from that perspective.
You're losing money if you're not taking it.
You lose it. Just buy an Epic, an Icon, and an Indy.
There you
Boom.
go. Hat trick.
You're good to go.
They should have the hat trick pass. Be all three.
That's the USA Gold.
Actually, if you join all three of those passes, right? What are they? 900, 1,000 each, right? So you spend $3,000 and you get, like,
Indy's only like 300.
Oh, 300. So $2,500, let's say, and you get, like, all these ski resorts. That might be a plan. Build your own Gold Pass, USA Gold Pass. I don't know.
You would have a hard time not filling up your ski itinerary with all of three of those passes.
But the USA Gold is transferable, right? So that's the big benefit. You just loan that thing out to people.
Yeah. That's true. So we'll see what happens, but a lot of big things. It's still just June 1st. There could be more things happening this summer. We'll keep our eyes on stuff. I'm sure there will be too. I'm sure there'll be a few more resorts added, but we'll stay on top of it. That's what we do in the summertime. We keep thinking about skiing so that when skiing comes, we're ready to go.
Plan and strategize, right?
And that is a beautiful segue into the main topic, which again, it's a light main topic. It's June 2nd. Like, what do you want from us? We're just trying to keep this thing rolling. But Mario, you have already, you're a planner.
I'm a planner. I don't live in the past, man. I'm living in the future.
You're already living in the future. So what have you started to research already for this upcoming season?
So around like the middle of the winter, when it starts winding down, I start getting a little depressed that like snow's going to. I actually start planning out stuff I want to do for the rest of the year. So one of the things I was thinking about is where we're going to go skiing next year. Usually do one big ski trip with my wife, and then I offer it to friends, see if they're going to come out, if they can get away, commit, that whole thing. So we already got a reservation, already made our plan because we've been going for weeks, figuring out another Club Med ski vacation. So we're going to do Les Arcs Panorama, which is in France. It's supposed to be a bowler ass resort. So
You
I'm
love
looking forward to it.
these Club Meds, don't you?
Dude, they're all inclusive. I don't have to worry about a damn thing. And if you break it down, it's a lot less money than doing it on your own. Because you get like lift pad, you get lessons the whole time or a guide, right? Like so my wife goes with her lessons and I do my own thing with a guide, and it's like it's all included. And then nobody's pissed off. End of the day, meet up, hang out. It's a lot of fun. This time I'm trying to get go as press finally. And maybe talk to somebody, try to look to get somebody on the show, maybe. And then I want to find out the deep info from them at the resort. So I'll see what I could get out of this.
So I was looking up Les Arcs, and there's like the first one that came up is right by Nice. I'm like, I don't think you can ski there, man.
I think it's a little too warm and flat.
I think you signed up for the wrong place. But yeah, I found the other one. No, that's in the mountains here. Oh, it just looks like if you were thinking like quintessential.
Yeah, you're balling
Alpine
up in the mountains.
Alpine Village. Like, yeah, it looks
Oh,
looks unreal.
So we'll see. I mean,
Beautiful.
you're surrounded by beautiful mountains. They got a lot of windows. Like,
And you got a Le Folie Douce. Is that how you pick these places? Like, do they have to have a Le Folie
Do they have a
Douce?
Folie Douce there?
Oh, they do, sir.
Oh, then I got to go where all the Folie Douces.
It's actually right on the right between a couple lifts, so it's actually on the mountain.
Yeah, they all are. That's the hard part. If you go with somebody that's not a strong skier or boarder, they may kill themselves coming off the mountain.
But dude, that's my favorite thing about après in the Alps is that like you almost have like a badge of honor if you survive.
Yeah, it's the quirky, crazy part of skiing in the Alps, in another country, in Europe. Like that's the flavor, the spice of life. That's what you do.
What's the name of that artist that does those great pictures that we love that we saw in Zermatt?
Oh, that was
Some with a B?
It's from Bungalow Art.
Bungalow. Yeah, he has that one painting called Home Run.
Charlie Adam.
Yeah, it's called Home Run, right? And it's like everyone drunk trying to ski from the bar back home.
It's the home run.
It's something you have to really experience to truly appreciate. That's just what it is. It's just everyone is hammered trying to get back down the mountain.
And they're all having a lot of fun. That's all it is.
For some reason, it's always the iciest, shittiest trail you have to go down.
Yeah.
When you get out of the bar.
Oh yeah.
I just remember that one in Ischgl. And the one in Ischgl was so crazy because you had to go on this really nasty, icy hill, but then you either had to hoof it probably a mile, at least half a mile, maybe a mile, or they had the rope tow there to hang on. And people are like falling off. Like it's people can't do the rope tow sober.
Oh yeah.
And when you're
they're-
hammered after a full day of skiing and drinking, like it was just such a disaster. But it's hilarious as long as you can keep it together. And then after that, so you have to get down the icy hill, then you have to get through the rope tow, and then there was another steep, icy, gnarly hill that went right into the road. Like
Oh,
the
that was
road
great.
where cars were. Like you had to make sure you could stop on this icy, nasty hill where there's a turn at the end and not ski into the road.
Oh, we were watching people that one day, and it was just terrifying.
That was a great idea. We stopped and we actually had our little après across the street from the end of the trail in the street. I mean, didn't we see someone like ski into the street?
Yeah, that's what we were watching, and it's like, holy
It's
crap,
just-
they skied in the street.
And this is a normal road like people drive on. I mean, it's not a highway.
Person almost got taken out. It was phenomenal.
Just unbelievable. But you know what? That's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, that's the flavor of it,
Couple
Everybody's
of
having a little
schnapses.
après, they're going out, they're just flying into the road. Why not? After the
Life is-
icy terrain,
Live and let die, right?
people just holding on to their butts.
Hmm.
Crazy. But yeah, so let's
Layark.
that's on the list. So I have a reservation, looking into press, want to get somebody on the show if we can. Found out some other stuff about Club Med. They are not doing the Club Med in Utah. They postponed that because they had a lot of delays. There's a lot of construction delays, but that's what they're saying. Plus, they wanted to focus on some other areas. So who knows? We may see. I realized too, looking that they only have one Italy location, one Switzerland location. Everything else is really in France, but then they have 3 really good Hokkaido ski destinations in Japan. And they
Japan.
even have 2 ski destinations in China. I'm like, huh.
Whoa.
So you'd say you can ski in China if you can get out alive. Brittany Guyana got caught. I'm gonna have so much weed on me. They're gonna be like, you never see it in daylight.
She was caught in Russia.
Same thing as China.
Same thing. China,
It's the same
Russia,
people that are doing the TSA over there.
all the same thing.
Whatever, the CSA, China, whatever, Security Administration. But yeah, so we got that. And then
This
did
Safari
book
Deuce looks so
Oktoberfest.
awesome.
Oktoberfest is happening again this year.
You're a
Bigger
bad
than
man.
ever.
You are a bad man.
Bigger and badder than ever.
Mad respect.
Of course, I ride my fucking scooter to work because I'm saving up. Saving up, bro. How you get to work? Scooter.
That's right.
I don't care if it rains. Scooter.
I respect that tremendously. Do you bring your scooter to your desk, like to your office?
I do. I pop it right there, and people look like, you ride that? I'm like, yeah. Who doesn't? Yeah, no, I just have it here as a statue, dumbass.
Yeah.
I tell my boss all the time. No,
I'm just a scooter enthusiast.
yeah, it's just a classic. It's a statue.
Yeah. You
I
should
just tell
get
everybody it's a statue.
like a sweet Vespa or something.
Oh, well, now you're talking.
If that would cost money, that would mean no vacations.
I think you got to register those, don't you?
Do you?
It's bullshit.
Oh yeah. It's like almost like a motorcycle, right?
I know. Oh, I see some of them on the bike trail, and I'm like, really? We're driving actual, mopeds on the trail now.
Vespas are super cool. I wouldn't take it on a trail,
Yeah,
but they are like where I live, like right now to go to the beach. Perfect.
nice.
Easy to park. You can just kind of tuck it out, find your own spot.
It's like every woman's Italian dream to ride around in a Vespa, right? I don't know what it is, but
If you're a mod, that's what you do. You drive your little Vespa around.
yeah, zip around.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to have like a Vespa gang for like jackets and shit for like initiation.
Didn't they have that back in England in like the 60s?
Vespa gang.
That's what it was. Isn't that what the mods pretty much were? They were like a Vespa gang.
Damn. Like, I don't know, man. I just got the crap kicked out of me by a gang of Vespas.
Yeah, if you Google Vespa gang,
The Vespa gang.
yeah,
Sons
some
of
stuff.
Clarity.
Sons of Clarity.
It's the Vespa Gang.
I mean, I think
What would be a
wasn't
good
part of
name for the Vespa Gang?
well, I think the whole thing with Vespas was they wanted to have like a way for you could get to work, and that little shield in the front was that your pants didn't get all messy if it was raining or those puddles.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I think I learned that on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Nice.
Seinfeld was cruising around in a Vespa.
So it's your fancy pants.
Yeah.
So I don't get my fancy pants dirty.
You just want to be like a classy gentleman. You know, you're going to work. You want to get there and not get all messy.
Dude, I don't know how many Indian like music videos you watch, and the badass guy rides in on a Vespa, and you're like, and they're like, nah, 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 and he's like the badass. He's on a Vespa, bro.
Dude, that
Jacket.
Indian Superman is one of the best videos ever. Like
love
that one is just
Bollywood and the cheesy filming is hilarious.
it's pretty impressive.
It's like that's a deep, dark rabbit hole you go down.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're going to Les Arcs, France.
Yes.
And this year, where did you go again?
Last year I went to Val Thorens, France.
This year.
Valtolands.
This year.
Oh, that was this year. That's right.
It's only January, right?
Yeah, that's right. It was January.
And you've been to, was it Saint Moritz, the other one?
Saint Moritz, I've been, Switzerland, and then Pregelato.
These are all Club Meds, right?
Yeah, and then Pregelato, Italy, which I almost went back to Pregelato, but I was like, because that's like, you could take the side trip excursion to Barolo.
Well, that's also, too, where you pretty much started COVID, right?
Pretty much.
That was 2020. That was January.
Right there. January, got back. February, March,
Zero.
they started locking shit down. And they had something going on in the Piedmont there. I think I might have had COVID when I came back, but
you probably did.
Who knows? I didn't get a vaccine. I was fine.
You survived.
Just a kid skiing, carefree in the mountains with COVID. COVID did nothing to me because I was happy.
More
skiing.
like Novid.
Right? That's right. But yeah, that was good because the food was nicer. I liked it as Italian food, and the Barolo trip. I mean, that's another.
Sweet, yeah.
If you're a wine enthusiast and you like nice Italian red wines, that's like a pilgrimage to the Barolo region.
Yeah, that's a pretty sweet side trip to make.
Yeah.
So of the 3 Club Meds you've been to so far, which one's your favorite? I did like the Val Thorens. I kind of liked them for different reasons. I gotta say the Saint Moritz one, it was nice to see Saint Moritz. That was probably overall my least favorite, but we did go to Diavolezza, which is the glacier there, and that was a phenomenal day. So it did have nice parts, and you get to see Saint Moritz, which is kind of cool. Which is the best skiing?
I gotta say Val Thorens is pretty damn good.
Nice.
Pregelato was cool because they were all separate houses on the property, and it was when they had the Torino Olympics, that was the village for cross country skiing. So they were all these separate units, and it was pretty cool. Like it was good and bad. Like it sucked because you had to go outside for everything to the main, large building where they had all the food and everything. But it was kind of cool. Like you had your own little cabin. It was kind of quaint.
Nice.
And the skiing there is pretty good. That was walk to the lift, which is right there, and ski back in. So it was lift out, ski in. That wasn't bad. This one is supposed to be a true ski in, ski out. Like you ski right in and you ski right out. So
nice.
See how that works.
Yeah, France just has so many epic ski areas.
Yeah. And this is going to be a different part of the Alps. So it's kind of like, if you look at all the places, that you could ski, it's like you start, traveling those Alps in different parts of France and Italy and, Switzerland and Austria. It's kind of like you're all in that same range. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you have like Chamonix and Val d'Isère, places even like Alpe d'Huez and, Val Thorens where you went, and
Yeah.
they are like it's just there's so many epic spots.
And they have Club Med resorts at a lot of those. Alpe d'Huez, they have Val d'Isere. They just added this year, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's supposed to be so they classify their resorts as like with the trident because that's their little symbol.
Mhm.
So a lot of them have like 2 tridents or 3 tridents, but then they have the 4 trident, which is Les Arcs. And then they have a 5 trident, which is
Oh,
yeah. And then they even have one that's like 21 and up. They have another one that's like the part of their
it's like the
exclusive
hedonism
collection.
one.
I don't think it's hedonism, but you can't have any. There's no kids, so you're dropping the F-bomb whenever you want, not having to worry
Oh
about
God,
anything.
it seems so nice. Just no kids for like a week.
No kids. But
God
you
damn.
know, I gotta say, all the Club Meds I've been to, it's not overrun with kids. But the kids that do go, the parents they put them in their ski group for the entire day. So it's kind of like you get to ski and they get to ski separately.
Yeah, because you have rich parents going to Club Med,
Exactly.
and they can afford to just dump their kids into these things.
Well, they were running a deal actually they're advertising now. Kids under 15 go free.
Wow.
So I don't know if there's a fee that they pay. So I'd look into that because that's not a bad deal.
Yeah. But again, the flights are what's brutal.
The flights are, yeah.
You
that's
have that.
the thing.
The hookup that you have is just like
Incredible.
that's incredible. Yeah.
So I married into that. So I married my wife.
And worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Absolutely worth it.
Not saying she doesn't bring other things to the table, but
That is a nice perk.
it's a really good one. It's
Yeah.
so funny. Like I'm just looking at like France right now, looking at the Alps, and I remember in 1992. Was it 92? Yeah, they had the Winter Olympics there in France, and
Albertville?
again, Albertville. Like we're talking about Courchevel and Chamonix and Val d'Isere and Les Arcs, Albertville. It sounds like it took place in like Alabama.
Yeah. So I went
Who
through
named this?
Albertville in when we took the train. So we did Paris and then we took the train like to the foot of the mountains there to Moutiers, and you go right through Albertville.
Oh, nice.
And it's a tiny little town. There's nothing there. It's like I thought
How'd
this
you
would be
pick
like
that? How was that the town that was in like the Olympic town? I guess it's kind of like a crossroads. It looks like it goes to, because I think they had
it's like at the
skiing in
foot
different
in a
spots.
valley. Yeah, it's right around all the other stuff. So I guess they use the mountains right around there, but
It's like if they had the Olympics and they're like, the Winter Olympics go to Rutland, Vermont.
that's right. And Rutland would be the center. People are like, oh, this is great. The skiing was incredible.
Rutland.
And then he pulled together like 5 different mountains around,
Yeah.
Rutland's the center. Yeah, we went through there and I was like, this is a tiny little ass town. There's no mountains. I see them in the distance. And then we went, Moutiers is just below it, just south. And then from there, a lot of shuttles go up to the Alps in that little area.
I mean, it's so crazy the kind of skiing they have in France. Because as
yeah.
Americans, we're like, yeah, the little Frenchies, like the little Parisian, like, yeah. And then you forget, man. It's so easy to forget how unreal the skiing is there.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some
It's
of the
nuts.
most insane terrain in the world.
Yeah, it's bananas. That in Switzerland, it's like Switzerland just in.
Well, Switzerland you always think about as like skiing,
right.
Yeah,
that's true.
think about
French, you don't
skiing.
necessarily think about
Switzerland
it
and Austria is kind of like you always think like skiing first.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you think France, you always think Paris and
Food,
maybe you think
baguettes.
Normandy Beach. I don't know. You think Nice, south of France.
Yeah.
There's so many other things you think about France before you think about skiing. If you're not a skier,
Oh yeah. Yeah, Chamonix just north. See, that's the one place, Chamonix, that I was gonna go on a trip there and I had to cancel it for work. And to this day I'm bitter.
You should never cancel skiing for work.
I was young and stupid.
If you have learned nothing from this podcast, listen to my words right now. Never cancel skiing for work. Work is just work. Skiing is life, is personal challenges. It's the ultimate freedom. Never cancel skiing for work.
That's right. You
Put
won't
it on
get
a
anything
t-shirt.
out of it.
You won't. Those assholes will fire you.
Yeah, they don't
There's
care.
a great quote. I forget who said it. Charles de Gaulle, maybe. Graveyards are full of indispensable men. So
Yeah.
you may think you're so important at your job. You know what? You can get fired. They'll fire you. Who cares?
Yeah.
You might die. Who cares?
In a hot minute.
Hotter than hot second.
That's right. They'll be like, we
Never
don't care. We don't
put
care.
work above skiing.
They'll be like, whatever. That's what I want.
Do what I want. So that's awesome. I'm happy you booked that trip. That's going to be super cool.
I think I might
Obviously.
want to go to Lyon because I heard Lyon has
Dude,
great food.
I think we talked about that when you
Yeah.
said you went to Paris instead of Lyon. Lyon just seems like, in terms of food,
We were talking to people on the train when we were taking and they were like, "Oh my God, we went to Lyon and the food was incredible." I was like, "Oh, they're effer."
that's one of those spots that, like, you know, again, we base a lot of our travel knowledge on, you know, Anthony Bourdain and where he went, and that was always one of his spots that was, you know, always had some of the best reviews, best, you know, most glowing conversations about was Lyon.
Lyon. Wow.
Yeah. God damn,
Yeah,
wouldn't it be just so epic to just take a whole winter and just travel through the Alps?
Oh, that would be great.
Do you know how unreal that would be? Like
I
those
think
Europeans,
you need like a whole year. You need the summer and winter,
that would be, oh,
right? Just live up there.
how about just 6? We'll call it 6 months.
Just be like a caveman up there, unshaven. It's like hermit, just doing whatever you want.
And then I want to end it. Well, obviously, we're going to take over Andorra in that process at some point.
Oh, that's right.
We'll just roll down there. But like just to end it in like Monte Carlo or Cannes, like one of the Nice, like one of those places, Saint Tropez, one of those places on the
French
the
Riviera.
there. Yeah. So cool. Like France is, it's easy to sleep on it and kind of like, you know, freedom fries and making fun of it and the bunch of queers over there in
It's a
France.
legit country.
Oh, dude, they're in a killer spot. Like they really are.
Dude, they had freaking Napoleon, man. Napoleon, bro.
Dude, I know almost nothing about Napoleon. I know
They
he sold.
exiled him in Africa and he came back. They burned his ships, everything. And he was like, screw you guys. You can't keep me out. I'm coming back.
But isn't it so funny, like that they say Napoleon complex? And apparently Napoleon wasn't even short. He was like average height for his time. But as a political move, they were like, this little short little pussy, like Napoleon complex. Or he wasn't even that
right.
short. But it sticks. Goddamn media. The only thing I know about Napoleon, like besides what you just said, is that he sold America the Louisiana Purchase. Like that. Like Jefferson bought it from Napoleon.
Think of all the wealth that they had. All Napoleon. He brought all that crap. I was in the Louvre last year and they had huge pieces of stone that they brought back from Egypt. I'm like, it's hard to get that shit over today. Can you imagine with the boats and the horses they had?
Oh my God.
It's an impressive feat. You know, you look at this and you're talking gigantic stone slabs they brought back. I'm like, holy moly.
So again, I was listening to Joe Rogan recently, another Rogan reference. And he had on Mark Norman, and he was talking about how him and his wife went to Paris. I don't know if it was their honeymoon or something. They went to Paris. They went to the Louvre, and he said like he did a show, and he's like, "Oh, my friend gave a fan gave me some Molly."
Yeah.
Like, so they're going to the Louvre, like, "Oh, this is the perfect spot. Let's take the Molly here." Turns out it was actually crack.
Oh, geez.
So like they took crack and went to the Louvre.
Not Molly.
That seems
but
like
crack.
the worst possible spot to take crack.
Oh, geez.
And it was.
Oh,
So never take drugs from fans unless it's at a snow show and it's weed, and then it's okay.
Then it's weed.
Then it's okay.
That's right. It's just weed. Oh, no, that's right. Napoleon abandoned his army in Egypt. That's what it was. See, he's all over. He's worldwide.
Again, all these Europeans trying to take over Africa. It's like, leave it alone, bro.
Leave it alone. Can't do it, man.
Hitler was trying to do that whole thing, the African corpse and Napoleon. Like, just
Yeah,
leave
that was
Africa
weird.
alone, bro.
Well, that's like a whole weird thing when you look at World War II, right? Like Germany was in Egypt. What the hell were they doing there? Right. And then you had Japan going at the same time. It was just nuts. Nuts time
Germany
below.
is the size of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And they were fighting in France, in Russia, and in Africa.
That's crazy.
How did you expect this to end?
Yeah. It's like you talk about stretching yourself too thin.
There you go. And you're going to invade Russia in winter? Come on, man.
Russia in winter.
Come on, man.
That's crazy stuff.
Didn't Napoleon try that too?
I think, yeah. And that's why he was on the run. I think it was something with, I was just reading something on it that there was fight. He was fighting Russia. There was something going on with Russia, and then he was in Egypt. I think that's how he decided to abandon his army in Egypt or some weird shit. I don't know, man.
I think the more important question is, did Napoleon ski?
I don't know. I think he should have or could have.
Or was he a snowboarder?
I'm gonna look it up now. Did Napoleon ski?
Pretty sure Napoleon Dynamite. No, Napoleon, like the Napoleon.
The Napoleon.
I mean, think about that guy, Napoleon Dynamite, named after him. Napoleon, like the pastry, named after him, right?
All I asked was, did Napoleon ski?
Complex. There's a lot of Napoleon stuff.
See, now, if Napoleon was in charge of the media, Napoleon won every Olympic medal that year. He'd be like the dictator. The guy's running, he shoots him.
Well, wasn't there something they were talking about Kim Jong-il, the one before, the father?
Yeah.
That when he first picked up golf, like the first time he ever played, he shot like a 27 under par and like got like a couple hole in ones. They're like, dear leader is the most amazing golfer ever.
He is the most amazing.
There's nothing he can't do.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So Mario booked his trip. See, it's June. He's already thinking ahead. Think ahead.
Think snow.
Right now, it's almost ski season. There's only 2 seasons. There's ski season and almost ski season. Right now, we're in almost. And you know what? Soon, very soon even, it will be ski season. So what are you doing now to be ready? Ask yourself that every morning.
And think of the motivation. Now I have a reason to go to the gym, reason to get in shape, reason to get my chi centered.
You got to harness that chi, son.
Got to harness that chi. You know, I'm still looking at my skis, trying to decide if I'm going to bring them or not. But I'm having these conversations with myself now. It's good.
Just talking to yourself on your scooter. People are like, this guy's just crazy. He's talking to himself on his scooter.
Just leave him alone, bro. Just leave him alone.
Don't mess with that guy, man.
I got to do something with my skis. I did use them last year. Not the GPS.
It's not up to me. Make a chair.
Yeah.
Buy new ones. We need a better ski sponsor. We need a ski sponsor.
We need we need a better ski sponsor, one that exists.
Yeah, as opposed to the one that doesn't exist, that sends us new skis every couple of months.
Right.
We really need to go to Snowbound. Oh, we didn't mention Snowbound. So
yeah, let's talk about Snowbound.
We're going to be up at Snowbound in Boston first week in November.
I haven't seen a contract yet.
I haven't seen our contract. I mean, they haven't even asked for our rider, which is a little bit offensive at this point. They're not planning ahead. Right, we plan ahead. They're not planning ahead. We should roofie some of the reps and get them.
I like where your head's going on that. Bill Cosby got away with it. Fuck it. I'm getting away with it.
We're going to need some skis. Flip florm.
Flip and florm. I got to get some skis. Now,
like you're not gonna, wait, you're not going to rate me? No, just want some skis. Zip, zip, zip it zap.
Zip it zap. He's out. I think I'm going to take a little.
Like, who signed this contract? It was like, I don't know what happened. I was eating Jello pudding, and then all of a sudden, I just woke up,
and the contract was signed
in my hotel room with this contract.
I don't know how we're giving these guys so many skis, but that's how it works.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right?
And that's how you do business.
Fake it till you make it, right?
That's right.
Roofie it till you groofy it, something like that.
Oh man. Maybe we
Not
can get Bill
saying-
Cosby to sponsor us.
I'm not saying we would do that. I'm just
Can you
saying.
get sponsored by like Rooflin, like roofies?
Imagine if Bill Cosby was a skier. Like, imagine he was like an OG ski bum, and like that's how he was able to get some money. and
Fantastic
get a place.
parties with drunken, passed out women everywhere. It
That's
was like
right.
Studio 54 up in the mountains. And Bill Cosby going, ooh, instead of Rick James, it would have been Bill Cosby on Chappelle's
I'm
show.
Bill Cosby, bitch.
He got his sweater on. Bill Cosby, bitch.
That would be so awesome. Like, let's create like a Netflix series about like Bill Cosby as like a ski bum.
Oh man, that would be hilarious.
Like Bill Cosby as like Jimi Hendrix and Warren Miller combined.
The Bill Cosby Chronicles. He's like hanging out with Warren Miller, smoking a spliff with him.
Like, imagine the Junkyard Gang was like the ski bum gang,
Oh, there you go.
right?
I believe we get the ski bum gun going on.
Oh my god.
And
For you
Fat
young
Albert
bloods.
on skis.
For you young bloods, look it up. Fat Albert and the Junkyard Gang. It was a
Are
real
you
thing.
even allowed to even talk about Fat Albert? Isn't that body shaming now? Like
It's-
everything, you can't even just laugh. It's like Fat Albert. No, he doesn't have body image issues.
Thyroid
He's just-
issue Albert.
He's big boned Albert.
Big boned Albert, yeah.
I don't know what he is.
Slow
Big Albert.
metabolism Albert.
That's right. Diabetes Albert.
Call him SMA. So as not to hurt his feelings or make him less confident in himself.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't have a show like that today. He'll get picked apart.
Yep.
Political correctness.
Yeah. It's a goddamn
be
shame. God
Identify as Fat Albert.
Yeah. I identify as skinny.
That's right.
I saw a fantastic meme recently, and I'm hopefully gonna find it, not to dig through my phone too long. It was this comedian. He goes, "If Lizzo is so beautiful, why do women get mad anytime I tell them you look like Lizzo?"
They like Lizzo. They think they always say, oh, but she's so pretty. Okay, you look like Lizzo.
That's like Adele, when like everyone was like, "I love her, I respect her big bonedness," and then she gets all thin, and they're like, "Fuck that bitch! Like, why is she fucking skinny now? Like, I liked her when she was fat.
Oh, she got super skinny, didn't she?
She got so hot when she lost a bunch of weight." Yeah,
Yeah,
and that just made the big girls angry.
I know. They were like, what happened?
She was one of us. Like, why is she doing this? We were all fat together. We were all alone with our cats together.
I used to listen to her and drink my wine and cry.
I was rolling in the deep with her and my cats. Now she's all skinny and like getting hot guys.
Yeah, she did. She looks like amazing. Did she have like stomach staple or something?
I'm not here to judge. I don't ask questions. I just
No, I'm
look at
just
the end
wondering what
result.
she did because she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Good for
can't
her.
eat a bunch of meat pies all day. I'm gonna eat less meat pies all day.
You know, she sounds just like that, dude. I thought you pulled up a
Spot
video of her talking.
On. Are you running some sort of AI engine? That's
You were
mimicking
spot
me?
on, man.
Yeah.
Adele talking about meat pies.
Apparently, she was in My Fair Lady.
That's right.
Oh, I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are gonna chime. I did some
Yeah.
musical theater. I'm not ashamed of it. Did one play.
It's Show Tunes podcast right now.
Show Tunes podcast. Yeah.
So is it going to be like Glee where we got to sing everything?
We should just do
Can't
a,
just
whole,
have a conversation.
a singing podcast.
Can we just freaking talk? No, we got to sing everything. It's
The
got to be
sing-
singing and
The
dancing.
Sing Bum podcast. Like, we'll just sing the whole thing. Like, what is happening here?
With the dark side of Glee.
And
I
we
just
don't even.
really want to go get something to eat. I got to fucking sing now.
And you know what? We don't even talk about it. We just do it. I'm like, what the hell happened to this show?
What is going on?
They just started singing.
Those guys were tripping balls.
It's funny. Like, you ever seen those memes where it's it'll show something in one language and then show it in another? There's one. It was it showed American. It's like bottle of water, and then it says British. Oh, water.
Oh,
Oh, water.
it's hilarious.
I think it's great. The English.
That's how you say it phonetically.
But
Oh.
But yes, France. Viva la France. You have a wonderful
France.
time. You're on top of your game right now. I respect that tremendously.
You know,
I can't even
the
get Greek Peak together 3 days in advance. That's we're like very yin and yang in terms of how we book our trips.
Well, I'm so stressed at work that having that gives me a little bit of sanity that I gotta hold on to that trip comes.
There you go.
I can't let it all go to shit until I take that trip.
So it kind of almost it calms you. It centers
Well, it's
you.
keeping me alive right now.
It keeps you from choking a motherfucker out.
That's right. Keeping a lot of people around me alive.
You're like, yo, I gotta keep it together for 197 more days because
I'm like the Red Balls guy. I'm like, God damn, I gotta go. I gotta go skiing. The hell's that guy's name? The tweaker guy.
oh, the crackhead guy.
Yeah.
We've made 87 Chappelle Show references today. How are we forgetting his name?
Tyrone Biggums.
Tyrone Biggums. Oh my god.
God damn, I can't believe we
I'm embarrassed for both of us.
I'm embarrassed for you.
I'm embarrassed for both of us. This is
Tyrone Biggums.
we're better than that.
Oh, Red Balls.
Red balls.
He's the tidy ball one. Product placement right there.
What was the one where they have like the giant like it's like a was it all the horse dicks or something? And he's like,
that was the bull's penis on
Really?
the Joe Rogan.
yeah, but he's
that
like,
was
I
Fear
can't eat
Factor.
them all. And there's like thousands of them.
It was Fear Factor. He's like, I'll eat some bull's penis. He gave me some hot sauce and he's just eating them.
Oh no,
He's
what
like,
is it? What
"I'll
is the thing
take
he has
yours."
to lay in? Is it
Oh, the,
snakes or is it
worms.
cockroaches or worms? He's like, I
Worms.
can't eat them all. He's like, no, you're just supposed to lay in them.
He's ready to go. No fear. Yeah, it was Joe
Falls-
Rogan on
Falls
Chappelle.
asleep in there.
Yeah. He needed paper. He's like, give me a paper. I'm reading the paper.
Goddamn Chappelle Show.
Tyrone Biggums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to rewatch that. I watched the end of Better Call Saul.
Oh, nice.
And the interesting part is it goes right up to after. So it goes up to Breaking Bad ending. And then it goes after Breaking Bad, him on the run.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty neat how they kind of put it in there.
Full
And then
circle.
they had Jesse and they had Walter White in there. They made appearances in the last few episodes. So it's pretty
Nice.
neat.
I got to watch the whole last season. I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah. But they worked that in there, and it's kind of interesting how they did it. And then you realize, too, like while you're watching the show, it's not a spoiler, but you're watching the show, and they start out with these weird clips of him like working in a Cinnabon.
Cinnabon, yeah.
And it's just like, what the hell is this? Like, this is right. Was this before? Is this after? What is it? So that all gets explained at the end, too, which is interesting.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it was good. It was well done. It was a little slow at the end, but you know, they were closing the chapter on it and linking it with Breaking Bad and kind of closing the chapter on that too. So it's pretty neat.
Nice.
But still didn't like the ending. Wasn't a big fan.
Hmm.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Enough said.
There you go. Watch it for yourself.
That's right.
And you know what? If you're flying out over to France to go skiing, maybe you can watch it on the plane. So
Oh, there you go.
there you go. So we'll obviously hear more about this as we get closer and get a recap eventually. But Mario, props to you for planning ahead. I love that.
Well, thank you. I figure if I can, let's put it out there so I don't back out later. If you don't
There you
plan,
go.
you're like, oh, you know, I didn't plan, and you come up with a million excuses. If you plan ahead early, you got to come up with an excuse to cancel it. It's different.
If you don't have a plan, you'll end up like Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, what he said.
There you go. Well, we'll have links in the show notes too, so you can take a look at Le Arc as well. And on that note, thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We're on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube at Skibum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate and subscribe. If you want to get some dope workout gear, go to 10,000.cc and use the code BSchneider15, 15% off. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay fluting.
See ya.